Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? I don't remember doing a reading for you before, so I like to explain real quick kind of how this works. I see, hear, feel, sense, know. They talk to me, but they also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. Sorry, I got the sniffles today. I try to describe the picture the best I can. They never waste a message. There's always a reason for whatever they show or say, so if it doesn't make any sense now, keep it in mind. You'll either see it later, remember it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later. Go, I know what he's talking about. This is non-exact science. Sometimes you got to stretch it outside the box a little bit. He won't give me all the details. Details are none of my business. He'll give me just enough so you should understand what he's talking about. So we're going to talk to your dad today. And he's okay. Well, they always, they usually come up with music like back in my time, so I understand. If they played the modern stuff, I wouldn't know what song they were talking about, but he's playing, I think Doris Day sang this song, and that's way back. But I'm sure you can get it on YouTube. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. Not even sure what que sera means. I used to know. So he's coming in singing that for a reason. So the future is not ours to see. And yes, and yet he's laughing. He goes, and yet you're psychic. Well, it is for us to see if they think it's in our best interest, if they think it's for us. Not for us, that didn't sound right. He's going back to the future's not ours to see. So there's something that you wish you could just see how it's going to turn out, and you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to, at least not yet. He says, if you saw how it was going to end, you would change what happens in between, and you're not supposed to. You're supposed to, he goes like, surprise. It's like a surprise at the end. It's like if one girl told me, she goes, well, God came down and told me that the exact day and time I'm going to die. No, they don't. Sorry. No, they don't, because you would change your whole life. Everything would change. Instead of living it like you're supposed to be living it, like you need to live it, like they want you to live it, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure what he's referring to for sure. He's not talking about the end of your life. Oh, this cold is kicked my ass. Okay, so now he's talking like a little child. Like, I would say like 3 or 4 learning their alphabet. He's going, T is for Tony. Tony the tiger. T is for Tony. Don't know what he's getting at unless you've got a little kid doing that. So, or you're going to see a small child doing that. Or you might even see it on TV. I don't know if you have any little kids. If you see somebody doing this, T is for Tony, or is for tiger. It might not be Tony, it might be tiger. Know that that'll be a sign from him. I always ask them for something unique instead of just the coins and the feathers and the butterflies. Something unique for you. So even if you see this, could be on Facebook, could be in a movie, could be walking through the store. It doesn't matter where you see it or hear it. He says he's very happy. And he found his grandma. And I'm assuming his grandma you probably may not have ever met, but you probably would have heard him say something about her that you would understand why he's very excited that he found and connected with grandma again. He's not showing her to me, so I can't tell you which one on which side. I'm leaning toward I'm leaning toward his mom's mom. Don't hold that 100%. He says there's several aunts and uncles there too, but he's not saying if they're his aunts and uncles or your aunts and uncles. It could be both. Sometimes they're vague, sometimes they just throw stuff out. Okay, he's making me feel like this gentle breeze. First I want to say warm, then I want to say cool, so I don't know. But like this gentle breeze, but you're inside your house. You're inside a house. You're not outside. And you kind of feel this little breeze go by. Kind of like if you do this, just that little slight breeze, a little slight breeze going by. You will probably only feel it on one side of your body. So he's showing it's going in the front of you. That's probably where you would kind of feel this breeze. It could be on different sides of you. So I'm not going to just hold it to just front of you, but just move your hand like that. You feel that little breeze. That's him walking by you. Everybody receives the energy different. He says you'll probably have goosebumps. You'll probably have goosebumps when you feel it. And it won't be outside. It could be, but how you going to know the difference? I mean, but he's showing inside of a house, cool. I'm hearing cool breeze, but I heard warm too. Anyway, I'm babbling. You feel that go by. Validate him. Any signs, validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more. Give him permission to bring you more signs. He says he doesn't want to do anything to scare you. He says he doesn't know why he thought that would get your attention and you would think of him. But he thinks it will now get your attention. Ask him. Don't beg. Just ask him to bring you signs. Ask him. Give him permission to step forward. It always helps. He says you're a beautiful young lady. That you have a very soft, loving side of you. And he wants you to bring that out more. He wants you to show that more. He wants you to work on that more. He says, let your light shine. You'll be surprised where it will lead you. Don't be afraid to be a little more vulnerable. Because it will all work out in the end if you are. He still loves to see you smile. He says he's ready to hold your hand. So take your hand, whichever hand you want, hold it out, very relaxed. Hold it out here. You don't have to hold it up here. Hold it very relaxed and ask him to hold your hand. And after a little bit, you should feel like the pressure. Sometimes it feels like they're actually holding my hand as we're walking down the road. You just feel a warmth or a pressure or something. You will feel something Usually works better, kind of just relax it over to the side. He says, tell mom hi. So I don't know if your mom's still here. I'm assuming he's talking about your mom. We don't hold any grudges once we get here. Just tell her I said hi. And once we get there, we get, I call it peeled like an onion, and they peel all that heavy anger, hate, resentment, all those heavy negative feelings off of us until we're a pure vibrating energy, which is what we are, because we don't have this heavy body anymore. We don't need it. So we don't have any hate for anybody. We don't have any anger, resentment for anybody that's here. We just don't need it anymore. We don't need all that stuff. The ultimate goal is the highest love you can find. Okay, I don't know if you do or he did like hot rods, fast cars. He's showing, oh crap, I don't know the names of all of them. Looks more like drag racing. Doesn't have to be drag racing. It could just be showing me racing. He's saying dirt tracks, drag racing. It could even be NASCAR, but he's not saying that. It's some kind of car racing, so I don't know if this was something he really liked, or you're doing that, you're going there, or anyway. He's mentioning that. I think he's I always ask him to give me a couple things to validate for sure that it's them. You're cute as a bug in a rug. This is something he used to say. If not, he thinks you are now. He says he knows you're a little angry with him because, how do I want to say this? He says, say it the way I told you to. Because he didn't spend enough time with you. A little bit because he left you too soon, but he didn't spend enough time with you while you were here. At least he feels that way. He wants you to let go of that. Not because he needs you to forgive him or let go of that for him, but you need to do it for yourself. He says you need to let go of that. Just remember the good times that we did have. Don't hang on that anger and resentment. And he says coulda, woulda, shouldas. Don't hang on to those because it's not good for you. It's not that it's not good for him because he's cleansed of all that stuff. He says you need to let go of that baggage. Forgive him for it. He said it's not like I did it on purpose, really. I just didn't pay enough attention while I was here. That's how he feels. So if you could actually forgive him for not being there as much as you thought he should, or forgive him for leaving sooner than you thought he should, all of that, if you could forgive him for that, it will kind of take a big weight off your shoulders. That's what he's wanting for you. And don't forget, he says, don't forget to love yourself first.
Here's your reminder.
He says, always love yourself first, not in an ego way, but in he calls it self-preservation way. And I always tell people, if you don't take care of yourself first, and you deplete yourself, you have nothing to give everybody around you, your kids, your husbands, your whatever, your family. You have nothing left to give because you deplete yourself. Don't forget, he says, pay yourself forward first. But again, he says, not in an ego way. There is a difference. There's a do for me first because I'm selfish and, blah, blah, blah. And then there's do for myself because I need to take 5 minutes for that bubble bath or take a walk and go hug a tree, whatever it is. He wants you to do that for yourself and not feel guilty about it. He says, go read a book where there's peace and quiet. He wants you to start thinking about what you truly want to do with your life and start taking baby steps towards it. He said, you don't have to, he's jumping in with both. You do not have to jump in with both feet. Just go start taking the baby steps towards it because it can be yours. And he's practically yelling, it can totally be yours, but you have to step towards it. But don't forget to love yourself first. And that's part of loving yourself first. He says it doesn't matter how dumb you might think this thing is that you really, your heart desires, something maybe you want to take dance lessons or painting lessons or do some yoga or something. It doesn't matter. If it's a little thing, a big thing, something that you really feel like you need to do, go try it. Go take a baby step towards it. And then see what happens. See what doors open. See if it opens up for you. He's talking about choo-choo train. Don't know why. Sometimes they just throw words out. He's pretty calm, pretty laid back, easy going, feels good, looks good. Now he's doing a little tap dance. He wants you to know he can tap dance now. He's just trying to show you he can lively move around. He said, we leave all that here with this old, heavy, thick, sick body. And, okay, I just saw somebody peek around my corner. So in my peripheral vision, and it's usually in your peripheral vision, and they do it to me even though I can see them head on, and I call this peripheral vision too. You can see somebody walk by when you got your head down. Out the corner of my eye, I just saw somebody poke their head around the corner of my room. You will or have seen this. Just saw it again. You will or have seen this. So know that that's not your imagination. Validate him, acknowledge him. Tell him you did it again. Tell him that you love him. Ask him to do it again, or if it scares you, ask him not to. I promise you 1,000%. He can hear you, he can see you. You just can't hear and see him so well. So don't be afraid to talk to him. Don't be afraid to ask him. He just did it again. So you're going to see that if you haven't already. And a lot of people do, and they go, oh, my house is haunted, or that's a shadow figure. No, it's not. It's just them checking in on you. Not always, anyway. It's not always not near as much bad shit as people think. Okay, with that he's going to leave. He says, know how much I love you. I love you, baby girl. I love you. Be kind to yourself. He says be kind. He said, be kind to yourself. The other is horseshit. Don't know what he means by that. Maybe that's a phrase he used all the time. Okay, with that he's gone. Much love to you, my dear. Thank you very much for allowing me to be his voice. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator. Voice for your loved ones. Later.